All right. Chalo, next. Okay, all right. Ready?
Good evening, friends. Today I'm going to talk about cricket versus other games in India. As we know that cricket people started playing cricket in first in England. After independence, we started playing cricket and we won the first World Cup in 1983. Now. Nowadays, cricket is the most popular game in our country. But we know that the hockey is our national game.
Aram se think, relax. Whatever thoughts you had in mind, speak.
Second time we won the World Cup in 2011 and T20 World Cup in 2007. 2000 World Cup we won under the captaincy of Mahendra Singh Dhoni. Initially, Test crickets.
Alright, there's a lot of time you can see, but ठीक है, go sit. Okay. It was an easy topic, cricket versus other games in India. Okay. First of all, tell me what thoughts came to your mind when you were sitting there thinking about this topic.
Starting from the cricket, where we played starting, and after that, about our in our country, people started playing the cricket.
See, first of all, try to understand what is the topic. The topic was cricket versus other games in India. One very good thing, important thing before we move there. Guys, when you take the chit in your hands, what you should pay attention to first is the list carefully. You look at the topics, and then after looking at it, and your mind should work fast, then you decide on which topic you will be able to speak a lot. Now here, if you ask me, your topic selection was difficult and was wrong. Why? Pollution was one topic on which perhaps you could have spoken a lot and spoken very easily. So at least you would have got points for speaking. Then you had child abuse. Probably even about that you could have spoken. Entry of foreign universities in India. If you would have been little well informed, you could have spoken. Okay, this is slightly more difficult than a topic like pollution. But you chose cricket versus other games. So the choice, I would say, you should have thought about it carefully. Then cricket versus other games. So there is a comparison. Okay. So how you could have started is, friends, today I'm going to speak about cricket versus other games. First say that, introduce. Then you talk about, as we all know, that cricket is the most popular game in India. And there are multiple reasons for it. What are those reasons? The first thing is everybody understands it. Everybody knows everything about it. Okay, all right. By the time you are in 6th, 7th, 8th, you know everything there is to know about cricket, all the rules, all the regulations. Second thing is, it's a very inexpensive game if you think about it carefully, right? If you want to play hockey, if you want to play football, if you want to play basketball, those are slightly more expensive. You'll need a proper court for it, things like that. Cricket you can play anywhere. Most of the times you see in our cities, in our villages, people are playing in the neighborhood, in the park. So there isn't much cost to it. The ball is rather cheap. The bat comes in all prices depending on the quality you want. Even locally made those, cheap bats are available. So that is the thing. Okay, that is one of the reasons why it's very, very popular in India. So other games, why they are not very popular? Because of infrastructure issues, because of the cost involved, and first of all, because we are not naturally aware. The knowledge of those games does not come to us easily in India. Next thing is, if you talk about the actual cost involved in development of those sports, if you talk about hockey, the kind of money that is involved to make that stadium, that ground, that is much more expensive than cricket. So even from those angles, if you see, it is slightly difficult, to make it as popular as cricket. But then the positive side is Indians are ready to enjoy other sports. The proof of that is in the last 2 3 years, 5 years, I would say, we had that Kabaddi League coming up, and it became very popular. Everybody enjoyed it, right? So you can talk about that. If you want, you could have even brought in a little bit of history, that even if we look at our history, except wrestling and that one form of chess, Chaucer, which happened in Mahabharata, we don't find much mention of sports and sports related activity in our history. So that is also one point you can raise here. Are you getting it? That's how you should bring points together, and for 2.5 minutes, 2 minutes 45 seconds, you should speak in a meaningful way. Okay, now don't get scared because of what happened here. It happens with everyone for the first few rounds. Why? Because our brain is not trained to remember under stress. So when you come in front of others, that stress is at the highest level possible, you tend to forget things. What is the solution for it? Rehearsal, 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 so that your brain gets used to remembering under stress. Okay, nothing to worry. Okay, chalo, next.